Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. So I know I've been gone. I know I've been a little bit MIA, but just know that whenever I do take those times for myself, I am rejuvenating because, I pick up on a lot of energy and I've really been into self-care lately and just taking care of me so that I can come back and give you all these beautiful bomb ass readings. Okay. So you already know the routine. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, that rhymed, bars. But you already know the routine. I'm going to share my screen so that we can see what this new reading is. So today's reading is actually titled, How is Your Absence Felt? And also, I do have some Jhené Aiko playing in the background. I have some Jhené Aiko music. So if you hear that, that's who that is. I just love Jhené Aiko's music because I feel like it really speaks to the spirits. I feel like it gets my life together, aligns my chakras, cleanses my energy. It's just her voice is like a beautiful waterfall. So I really love listening to her. And those of you watching this may really be fans of Jhené, or you may be a Pisces here, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or really have it in your chart. Take what resonates. But yeah, today's reading is titled, How is Your Absence? How is your absence felt? But who specifically is affected by your absence? Okay. So I'm going to give you all a second to pick, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with my lovely pile number ones. But I also want to give a message for both piles before I get into pile number one. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we're about to get into the piles, but I do want to give a message for both piles. So overall, people really miss the structure and the guidance that you provided in their lives. Okay. If you're tuned into this reading, you are a leader, even if you think you're not. Okay. You're a leader, even when you think you're not. Okay. Because people listen to your guidance, people have benefited from your guidance here. Okay. So that is the message for all piles. Like, I feel like they don't meet people who want the best for them, okay, because they're meeting reflections of themselves. I feel like for both pals involved, you could have just done, your energy takes people to a different realm, and it is a rare gift to have. You're able to travel to timelines of wisdom and bring others with you. Your vibe is also so otherworldly, and it's not a vibe you can find anywhere else. As soon as I said that, I thought of Alice in Wonderland. So you may really love Alice in Wonderland, or just things that are like magical like that, okay? Or you may like to read a lot of fantasy type of books here, because I'm getting like Wizard of Oz, that type of stuff, okay? We also have You Are One in a Million, okay? And your vibe, you can't find that anywhere else, okay? Your vintage energy is one to be valued, because when someone loses you, they will never get you back. So power number one, people feel your absence because you have self-respect. It's like when somebody betrays you, and that's normal, okay? We're human, so don't feel bad about that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't really think that you wish bad on these people. I mean, I feel like you're able to be like, okay, I wish you the best and move on. And that's what really hurts people, because power number one, you're not the type to go back and forth with people. It's like one and done. If you don't respect me, if you don't reciprocate my love, if you don't respect my boundaries, bye. It's very simple as that, pound number one. I feel like you've gotten very clear and strict about who you want in your life and what energies you want in your life. And that is how your absence is felt, because you're no longer accepting breadcrumbs. You're no longer accepting the bare minimum. You want what you're giving. Okay. And that's beautiful. But also, pound number one, when I was tuned into your energy, I was brought back to this playlist I made on YouTube years ago. And it is so beautiful. And the playlist was named Rainbow. And it's interesting because rainbows are portals. And I feel like, power number one, you have a gift to take people to different realms and to take people to different portals. And how I seen this, okay, so I'm clairvoyant. So I seen this image of this movie, and it's called Queen of the Damned. If you're really into like vampires and stuff, this is for you. Okay. So Queen of the Damned. And it's like, remember Lestat? He was the vampire, and like that girl, she really wanted to be a vampire like so badly. And remember when he took her and he held her and he just went over like the city, and it seemed like they were going slow, but they were really moving really fast. And then he brought her down. So it's like, he brought her down like to the ground to see what he was about to do, because she was interested in like being a vampire. So some of you may resonate with vampire movies, but I also feel like you were dealing with energy vampires. Okay, take what resonates. But it's like he took her somewhere else. And then at the end, if you've seen the movie Queen of the Damned, you see how they were walking like it seemed like they were walking slow, but everybody else was going fast. It's like you're able to take people to different timelines to where they're not worried about the outside world anymore. Like you're able to really take people with you to these magical places. And I'm also seeing Alice in Wonderland again. Remember in the second one, she went through that mirror. It's like you take people with you when you go on these spiritual journeys. You take people with you. It's like pound number one, you are a psychedelic. Like your energy is very like psychedelic, like hippie. Like when I was tapping into your energy, I was getting very much like 70s and 80s vibes here, even 90s. Okay, but I really feel like you may really like antiques here. It's like your energy is antique. It can't be replicated. Okay, and that is how people feel your absence. They can't find this energy nowhere else. Like you are somebody who's very exciting, very fun, very vibrant. And people don't meet people like you because the gift that you have is rare. Pal number one, I feel like you came here to bring people to different timelines. I feel like once your mission is over, it's over. And I feel like they mess it up because they betray you. But I also feel like you knew that they were going to betray you. I feel like pound number one, you have a very keen intuition. It's kind of like how Jesus knew that Judas was going to betray him, but still blessed him. I feel like that's how you are. Like you move people to different timelines. Like you help alleviate people of suffering. Like you move them to different timelines. And then once they get there, you're like, okay, I have to go. You know, it's also reminding me of, yeah, Janae Aiko's it's a video by her. It's called Lion King, and that's actually in the channel messages, but it's still coming up. Like I'm gonna read the channel messages at the end, but it was like at the end. Remember when Janae Aiko was like the medicine woman, and she showed that person like what was gonna happen, and then she walked away. I feel like that's how it is with you, pal number one. Like I feel like you know when your time is up with somebody, and it's usually when y'all just fade away or stop talking, or somebody betrays you. So I feel like you've learned those energies, and you learn to stay away from people like that. Okay, so that's how your absence is felt. Now let's get into these cards. So let's see. So pile number one, the first card that came out for you was Seven of fucking Swords. Okay, excuse my French. Seven of Swords. It's like you've dealt with a lot of betrayal, and I feel like in the past, pile number one, you could have really like let this stuff like destroy you. I feel like you've risen up from that though. It's like you realize that okay, these people want to betray me. How about I never betray myself by going against my intuition? How about I never betray myself by going for my dreams and not listening to the naysayers? So you've learned to stand 10 toes down for yourself. You've learned to be an advocate for yourself here, because the next card we have is the Ace of Cups. So it's like the best revenge is self-love. Pile number one, I feel like you know that you didn't try to get back at these people. You didn't throw subs on social media. What you did was level the fuck up, and you've learned to love yourself. Okay, with this Ace of Cups, you poured into your own cup. You stopped pouring into other people's cups. Okay, your absence is felt because that grand love you used to give, that beautiful loving energy, a lot of people don't get that from other people. Okay, the love that you gave, okay, it was pure, it was authentic, it was genuine. I feel like you don't play games when it comes to caring about people. Pile number one, I feel like you really care. The next card we have is the Page of Cups. I don't really feel like this is your energy. I feel like this is theirs. I feel like you were very immature with this. You are very mature. I'm sorry, pile number one, I'm not trying to say you're immature. I mixed it up. Let me run it back. You're very mature, but with this Page card, they're immature. Okay, because it's like you see the difference here. It's like you're in this ace energy of knowing like to pour into your own cup. But what I'm getting here is like, because you see how this person is looking into this water, it's like they seek validation. So I feel like you had people who were codependent on the things you would tell them, codependent on you making them feel good and giving them attention, and that is how your absence is affecting them. Okay, that's how your absence is affecting them. So they're the ones that are immature here. Let me make that clear, because it's not you, pal number one. I mixed up the words, but they're the ones that are immature because it's like they're still seeking validation. They're still looking for love outside of themselves. And that's how your absence is felt, because they don't get those gentle reminders. They don't get those encouraging messages of wisdom. You know, they have people talking down on them, because I feel like this is what people did to you, pal number one. So a lot of these people are receiving karma, just so you know. I want you to know that, like, you know how they say no good deed goes unnoticed, no bad deed goes unpunished. Okay, just know that. So the next card that we have is the Five of Pentacles. So how is your absence felt? It's like these people are alone. Even if they're not physically alone, or they're surrounded by people, they still feel alone because they're surrounded by people who don't really hear them, that don't really see them, that don't really feel them, that don't really align with them. They're just hanging around people. Like, I felt like these were followers, pile number one. And what I mean by followers is like people that want to be a part of the crowd and be accepted. I feel like you were never like that. I feel like maybe you tried and it just didn't work for you, so you let it go and you've created your own lane here. Okay, you're a trailblazer, pile number one. The next card that we have is the High Priestess. So you had a lot of wisdom. I feel like the guidance that you helped bring into people's life was very intuitive. So pile number one, you're somebody who receives messages, even if you don't know, you receive messages and you're able to relay those messages in a way that people understand and can digest here. So you were able to give people messages. I feel like some of you could be psychic mediums here, and maybe you were helping people like talk to like past loved ones here. Okay, there's something about you helping people like spiritually and then betraying you. And the thing about it is, what I don't get about people is, if you know I'm a reader, whether I have tarot cards or not, why would you ever think to play me? And I'm going to pick up on it. That's your vibe, pal number one. It's like these people tried to play you, but you already knew. You were already intuitive, but it's like you learn to pour that love into yourself because you know you deserve it. And I feel like pal number one, you're very into like psychology and astrology. And I feel like you mix together your psychology, your spirituality, and your astrology so that you understand people, so that you analyze them and not make it about you. So you've understood that, okay, this is this person's shit, it ain't mine. You know, you're entering that period, and I'm very proud of you, pal number one. The next card we got is Nine of Pentacles. So what I'm really getting here is like you brought a lot of financial structure into people's lives. So this could be you actually buying people things. Like, let's say somebody got a new job, you went to help them buy work clothes. Let's say somebody had an interview, you let them wear your clothes. Because I really get that you're somebody who's stylish here with this Nine of Pentacles. Like, you're stylish. You have your shit together. Okay, and I feel like what it really was, part number one, why these people betrayed you, it was jealousy. It was the things that they seen in you that they did not see in themselves here. That's what I'm getting, is jealousy. Jealous of what you have. But with this Nine of Pentacles, I don't think it's just materials. I just think it's energy. You have this very regal energy about you, okay, with the Nine of Pentacles. You know, it's easy for you to have structure in your life. You may have a lot of Capricorn placements, or you may be a Capricorn here, but I just see you like very stylish as well. Okay, very stylish, somebody who's well put together. You're very clean, you smell good, you take care of yourself. And it made these people jealous is because you never missed a beat, pal number one. You may be somebody who likes to dress up a lot, and other people may feel some type of way. Like, you might be the type of person that even to go to the store, you want to get dressed up. And I'm that type of person too. So I understand some people get so aggravated by that, but I'm like, it's my body, it's my clothes. Why are you mad about that? And I think that it is because a lot of people, I don't know what it is about our society, but a lot of people feel like every person should be exactly like me. They should think exactly like me. And I'm like, no, we only have our consciousness. Like, we're connected to the higher realms, but I don't have another person's consciousness. So therefore I can't think exactly like them. You know, it's like, I feel like you understand that, part number one, but I feel like you were dealing with people who wanted you to be more like them, who wanted you to shrink so that your light wasn't disturbing their demons here. They wanted you to be on their level. And I feel like these people could have made you feel like you were uppity. They could have made you feel like you think you're better, but it's not that you thought you were better. You just knew that I'm too good for this situation. And what I mean by that is, if I know I'm a good person, why am I going to sit here and let you play me and lie to my face? Because I feel like people try to gaslight you, pal number one, try to do little sneaky, petty shit to you. And then when you confront them, they want to act like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, people really will do that to you and make you think you're crazy. And I'm glad you got away from these people, pal number one. And if you've been having inklings to get away from certain people, get away. Because I feel like it's not worth your energy or time. Okay, so yeah, that's how your absence is felt, because I feel like a lot of people, like, you may have styled a lot of people here. You could be a fashionista. You could have went to college for fashion. Like, I feel like you really helped people when it came to finding their style. I feel like that's also a gift you have. Like, if you work in a clothing store, pal number one, you're able to find stuff for people like, oh, this will really work with you. Like, I feel like you brought a lot of beauty into people's lives as well. Like, you brought people beautiful things, and just your energy is beautiful. Okay. So let's see how your absence is felt. Pile number one. So we have the first house. So I feel like pile number one, you transformed. With you loving yourself, it's like you've become a completely different person. And it's like you're not the same person that they knew. And it makes them feel some type of way because they're still the same person. They haven't changed. They haven't grown. They're still the same person. Okay. And it's like you change. I feel like every year you level up, you know, or every month or every 6 months you're leveling up here. Okay, it's like you're actively putting in the work to improve yourself, and how they're affected by your absence is, you know, you're no longer validating them. I feel like a lot of people depended on your validation, pal number one. You know, I just feel like these people you dealt with, that they had childhood trauma. They had childhood trauma. And I know I said I wanted to read the channel messages at the end, but I'm gonna go ahead and read them now because I feel like there's something you need to hear right now. Pile number one. Let me read these channel messages to you, okay? So pile number one, what I first got for you, that you had a middle school best friend betraying you. So this middle school best friend could have been somebody you stayed friends with and you found out that they were fake. Or I feel like this happened in middle school and it's something that wounded you, because I feel like this person could have spread rumors and lies about you here with the swords energy. You know, swords represents like the mind. So it could have been you had people talking behind your back and then you found out from a third party here. Okay. We already talked about the 70s and 80s vibe, a very beautiful vibe, but I also think you could be an indigo child. Okay. Some of you watching this could be in your 40s or your late 40s. Oh, also you have a celestial energy, okay? Very in tune. You may really like neo soul music, or alternative style, retro vibe, rock star type, trippy red type, alternative style. We already talked about the movie Queen of the Damned. I feel like a lot of people want to spin the block with you, Panama. They want to go back in time, but it's not worth it because I feel like where you are now, they can't reach you. They're like, you leveled up too much. Like you've climbed that mountain. They're at the bottom looking up at you, and it's like you're not going all the way back down there. You know how long it takes to climb to the top of a mountain? Why would you go back down there? So it's like you're understanding, like, I'm not going to sacrifice my happiness for you or anyone. Okay. You're also very magical here, and I feel like your energy makes people feel like there's someone else. And when you jump timelines, you've taken other people with you. It's like you drop them off where they're supposed to be, like where they're supposed to learn their lessons. That's why I feel like you're a guide, pile number one. You really hear and listen to people. We talked about that, but also I feel like people have tried to, these people that I'm talking about that are affected by your absence, they've tried to make you feel like you're the problem. But guess what, pal number one, you're not even in their life and they're still having these same problems. It's not you. And we got Aaliyah here. We have Aaliyah, One in a Million. We also have Willow Smith energy. We also have Janae Aiko, the song called Lion King. And there's a line, and she says, Mr. Conditional Lover, I wish your mother loved you like I could have. That way you would have known how to love a woman. I think I mixed it up. It's Mr. Serial Lover, I wish your mother loved you like I could have. That way you would have known how to love a woman. Mr. Conditional Lover, I wish your father would have stayed. I wish he never promised things that never came true. So that's confirmation, because look, my phone started those little dings, like ding, ding, ding. So for some of you, pile number one, I feel like people that are affected by your absence are exes, people that have cheated on you and did you wrong and had you in third party situations. Just like, I feel like a lot of this stuff happened to you on purpose. Pile number one, I feel like you had people trying to break your spirit, because a lot of people feel, weak spirits feel offended by strong spirits. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Weak spirits feel offended by strong spirits because you've been through a lot, pile number one, but you've never been the type of person that is going to project your pain onto somebody else or make other people feel bad because of what you went through. Like, you are the type of person that's like, okay, if I went through that, why would I put somebody else through that? But other people are the exact opposite. They went through that, so they're like, okay, I'm gonna forever put other people through that. And I don't really understand that, you know, I don't. But I feel like that's how your absence is felt, okay? People have to think long and hard about what they did because it was done on purpose. So you have people feeling guilty and wanting to come back. And also with that Page of Cups energy, I was getting like people wanting to come back and apologize. Nah, save your apologies, you know, because there's no change behavior. So your apology is worthless, okay? That's what you have to understand, pile number one. If people are the same, no matter what, even if years go by, they're still the same. They still talk shit about you. They still betray you. It's like apologies don't matter at this point. You know, a lot of people feel like you are required to accept their apology, and you're not. Pile number one. So if you have these people trying to come back to you and apologize, you don't have to accept it, and it doesn't make you a bad person at all. These people know what they were doing, because I really feel like they knew, and I feel like they tried to make you feel like you were crazy. Okay, some of these people could have labeled you as crazy, but you're not crazy. You're psychic. Fact number one, you know what the be going on. Like you could have 8th house and 12th house placements. It's like when people are trying to spiritually attack you, or when people are trying to get over on you. It's like a weird vibe, and it's the same feeling every time. That's how you know what it is. And if you know, you know. Okay, it's like when I'm dealing with deceptive people, they all have the same energy, and that's how I know, like, okay, you're deceptive, because I felt this before. Okay, with the 9th house being here, this is that wisdom energy. Okay, so you have wisdom, and they miss that. They miss your guidance. How's your absence felt? They miss your guidance. We also have travel. So you may have traveled and took these people on vacation, but I feel like now you've gone with different friends that are more aligned with you, your soul tribe. You may have met your soul tribe, pal number one, but I feel like you're meeting people that are more like-minded. And these people, they were never on your level. Okay, like I feel like you're very intellectual, pal number one. So I feel like you just always felt like you had to like dumb yourself down for other people, but no, you can't. Okay, and I feel like you learned that. All right, but with this travel, I feel like you took people with you a lot, and I don't know why I'm hearing Shanquella Robinson. I feel like, pal number one, you have friends like that, friends that was trying to like gang up on you. That's why I'm getting like this could have been something that happened in middle school, or these people that did you, they still stuck in this middle school energy. That's what I'm really getting. Like, people that you traveled with could have betrayed you. But yeah, I'm really getting that. I feel like you let these people go. Okay, and if you feel like you need, like I'm saying, like if you feel like you need to let people go, pal number one, let them go. If you feel like they're secretly hating and jealous of you, even if this is family, let them the fuck go. All right. But yeah, I feel like they're affected by your absence because they can't go on vacation with you. I feel like you are somebody who's financially stable, or in the future you will be. Like you're gonna have some money, because I'm hearing handsome and wealthy. Okay, so if you're a man watching this, you're gonna be handsome and wealthy, or you already are. Right. I just start hearing Migos handsome and wealthy. Okay, but yeah, that's how they're affected by your absence. The next card that we have is the 12th house. So like I said, you have 12th house placement, but I think also like how they're affected by your absence. Oh, I need to take some water real quick, y'all. But how they're affected by your absence is like you you're not there to validate them. I feel like these people have childhood trauma. I feel like they didn't get attention from their parents, so they kind of put you in that parental role, and that was never for you to fulfill. Okay, I feel like a lot of people put you in that role, pile number one, even your own family members, and it's like they have mental things going on. So how are they affected by your absence? They experiencing a lot of mental instability, a lot of guilt, a lot of them trying to ignore the signs from spirit, and they know what they did was wrong. It's like people are trying to avoid it, like, no, I know what I did, but I'm not. A lot of people think that justice is not going to find them if they hide, or justice is not going to find them if it's been a couple of years. Like, karma is always going to get you. Karma is going to be a, a calculated motherfucker, okay? Karma is going to be it's going to be a dish best served cold, okay? And it's like, if you can dish it out, you have to take it. So I feel like these people are experiencing a lot of like guilt. They have to think about the things that they've done, because the 12th house represent things that are hidden, right? And then we started out with the 7 of swords. So it's like they knew they were doing stuff behind your back. And it's all coming back to haunt them. I feel like, pal number one, you make people feel guilty. And the reason why is because you have such a beautiful spirit. And it's like, people know when they've done wrong. It's like you just naturally, even if you don't say anything, it's just who you are makes them feel guilty. Okay. The next card that we have is a Leo. So how are they affected by your absence? It's like, I really get you used to motivate them. I feel like you really help them to become confident. You know, I feel like you gave these people a lot of ideas. Pile number one, a lot of ideas you should have kept to yourself, because I feel like you helped them creatively. So these could have been people you were dealing with that were creative or have creative talents, but are too insecure to, you know, go for them. So you could have encouraged people to follow their dreams, follow their heart, because Leo represents the heart. So how are they affected by your absence? They don't know how to follow their heart because they really relied upon your guidance. I'm really getting like people who don't want to take responsibility for their own lives, okay? And that's not your responsibility. The next card we have is Pisces. So any of these that I just mentioned could be your sign. So let me go over it. The ninth house is Sagittarius. You could be a Sagittarius. They could be a Sag. We have the 12th house, Pisces. So double Pisces. So somebody here is a Pisces. Then we have the first house, which is Aries. Then we have Leo. So we have fire signs. So you could be a fire sign, or they could be a fire sign, or have it in their chart somewhere. Take what resonates. But yeah, with this Pisces card, it's like right now they're so confused. They're very confused about what they want to do, like because it says your dreams, right? I feel like pile number one, you're somebody who's following your dreams, okay? Oh, you know what I'm hearing? Taylor Swift, Wildest Dreams, okay? So again, didn't I tell you that a lot of these people want to go back in time? If you listen to that song, it's kind of giving like a nostalgic energy. Okay, some of these people could be dreaming about you. Okay, how's your absence felt? They may dream about you and they wake up like, wow, I wish I could stay in that dream, because I really feel like you, power number one, it's like once people burn the bridge with you, it's done. You're not rebuilding it. You're not making truces. It's like, I'm gonna stay here, you stay there. But yeah, that's how your absence is felt. But yeah, they're very confused. And I feel like some of them could even be delusional. I feel like they may also be susceptible to other people betraying them with this Pisces energy because they betrayed you. So it's like a lot of karma going around. The next card that we have is the 10th house. So with the 10th house being here, it's like pile number one, I feel like you are somebody who is coming, like you are gaining status. That's why I said Capricorn. 10th house is Capricorn energy. So you are somebody who's gaining status, okay? And how they're affected by your absences, they don't get to take part in that, okay? I feel like pile number one, you're going to blow up. If you're doing something on social media, you're going to blow up. If you have a business, like another business may partner with you and get you even more money. I feel like you're gonna, if you're like a business owner, you might like really get a really nice assistant, like somebody that's really gonna and help you, okay? And I know I'm just cursing, so some of y'all might like to cuss, because it's certain readings where I won't say any cuss words at all, and then certain other readings I just started, but it's because somebody here is a Sag, and I'm a Sag, so it's just an alignment, okay? Okay. The next card that we have is the 7th house. So didn't I tell y'all it's relationships, honey? 7th house is ruled by Libra. So you could be a Libra, or this person could be a Libra. We do have some Aries. We have Aries, Libra, and Capricorn. Those are all cardinal signs. So cardinal signs represent leaders. So pile number one, you are a leader, okay? You are a leader for sure. And you help lead people to the right places. Okay, so that's how your absence is felt, because people feel lost without you. Your exes feel lost without you. I feel like they thought other people was better than you, you know, and it says balance here. There's no balance in those relationships. So they may be giving more, but it's because you were giving more than you were getting. So the scales are balancing, power number one. So let's see how, now that we see how your absence is felt with these cards right here, we're going to look at who it is. Okay. Oh, wait, never mind. Let me get these cards off the way, and then we're going to see who. So look, we have love. So you have learned to love yourself, and it's making you bloom. Okay, pound number one, you're learning to love yourself and nourish yourself, and they see how much you love yourself, and your absence is affecting them really because they miss you. Pound number one, people miss that love you used to give them. They miss it. It's like pound number one, your love is like when somebody's sick and they get that hot soup or that hot tea, and then they go to sleep and then they feel better. That's you. And a lot of people don't have that, okay? The next card we have is healing chaos. So I feel like you've been healing. You've been healing from a lot of this chaos that they started, because I feel like back in the day, pal number one, or even in your adult life, I'm really getting like your childhood. Like people always put you in drama, even if you didn't do anything, and it's something you're still healing from, because a lot of people really try to break your spirit by making up lies about you. And the reason why people, you might wonder, like, why do people always make up rumors about people? Because they know that that's the way to break you. A person knows how to break you by breaking your confidence. Therefore, they break your spirit, because your confidence, that's that life force, that's your light. When they condemn your light, they can make you not want to go after your dreams and goals, therefore getting what they want. When people see that you're headed for greatness, they want to stop you. So they start with rumors. They start by turning people against you. They start by trying to attack you spiritually, and they attack you mentally because they want you to think negative thoughts about yourself. They want you to question yourself. And that, I feel like, is something you were susceptible to, but I feel like you don't really allow these types of energies in your life, Panaboy. I don't really think, I feel like you're moving on to bigger and better things. Like, you don't have time for this. But with these butterflies, you have transformed, and you're continuously transforming and healing these wounds, because I feel like these people were just some really crazy people, okay? The next card that we have is purification. So one thing I'm noticing is light, because that Leo card has some yellow, and then this has some yellow. So you're being purified, pile number one. And people can see that it's like you're gaining your confidence back, because the sunflower, you're the sunshine, you're gaining your confidence back. And how are they affected by your absence? They don't have confidence. So a lot of these people could be comparing themselves to you, or just, I feel like these are people who just like talk down on themselves a lot and just expect you to just keep, like, they expect you to keep uplifting them, because at a certain time you got to do it for yourself. Because I know from experience, when I was younger, I was bullied, and I was bullied at home, I was bullied in school, and a lot of people didn't think I was really bullied because I didn't really wear my heart on my sleeve. So it's like, if something was happening, you wouldn't know, because I kept it under wraps. And it's like, I remember like always talking down on myself because I wanted somebody to tell me something positive, but then it got to a point where I stopped leaving that in the hands of other people, because once you do that, what I've noticed is people can be manipulative. People can see you talk down on yourself and agree with you. I had people trying to agree with what I was saying, and it was just messed up, because it's like, you should be uplifting me, but at the same time, people get tired of that, people get tired of that. So it's like, I feel like you probably got tired of that, pile number one, like dealing with people that are always putting themselves down. Because what I learned is I have to speak to myself better. And that's when I started getting into affirmations, and that has really improved my life. Affirmations, speaking kindly to myself, like listening to positivity instead of listening to the negative people. Like, that's a game changer. And I feel like, pal number one, you're somebody who does that. Like, what I'm getting with you, pal number one, you're very organized. You may get up in the morning, make you some hot coffee and tea, listen to like a pastor or a sermon, or you may listen to like positive, uplifting messages. Like, I feel like you like listening to like people like, because I'm getting like Trent Shelton. He's really good. Like, he's one of my favorites on YouTube. If you don't know, you might listen to like motivational speakers here, like TD Jakes, stuff like that. Like, I'm getting like, you listen to powerful messages that uplift you. And that's why you've been able to pour back into yourself, okay? Some of you could have been in isolation here, but I really feel like you're learning to enjoy your own company, pal number one. Oh, we got blessings. Pal number one, you're getting blessings because you move with pure intentions. Like, especially when you were younger, okay? You moved with pure intention. I feel like you're a little bit more guarded now, pal number one, but you were very, very open and loving when you were younger. And you're getting blessings because you really loved people. Like, you didn't care about what people had, how they looked, how they sounded. You really just cared about people's spirit. And that's rare, okay? So again, you are one in a million. The next card we have is pleasure. So it kind of reminds me of that Nine of Pentacles energy. I feel like you may live a life of luxury, or you're going to live a life of luxury here. And again, that word luxury can have several different connotations, because luxury to you could be having a job where you work at home. Luxury to you could be getting pampered, okay? Take what resonates, whether you're male, female, or non-binary here, okay? And I feel like you're going down a new path. And how are people affected by your absence? It's like they don't get to get these blessings with you. A lot of people feel like you're a missed opportunity, pal number one. And I feel like a lot of these people didn't have good intentions anyway. It's cloud chaser energy, okay? But with this pleasure card, it's like you're going down this path of goodness. I feel like pile number one, you may struggle with anxiety because you've always had to worry about people trying to talk about you and do stuff to you. So you're always on guard. You may be hyper vigilant, but I feel like you're going to move into a season where you can relax because spirit is going to fight your battles for you. Okay. You're very protected. The next card we have is power. So how are they affected by your absence? It's like they can't take away your power. I really get these are people that try to sabotage you. You know, they can't take away your power. You know, I'm hearing Beyonce, that song is like, they'll never take my power, my power, my power. And I like the person that was saying it, you know, I liked how they were singing it. It's like an affirmation as I was talking about. So it's like, I feel like Power One, you used to give people affirmations here. Okay. You could have literally tried to teach people about it, you know, but I also feel like you give it to yourself here. And that's what's increasing your power and helping you to see your power. So people are seeing that, but they just feel like they can't do it. I feel like these are people that just feel like, well, I can't do it like pile number one, so I'm not going to do it. It's like very pouty energy. It's like, grow the fuck up. Like, come on now at this point. All right. So I feel like for you, the people who are affected by your absence, this is like could be, I feel like it's a blend, honey. It's a blend. Because number one, these could be like co-workers. So this could have been a job situation where you don't work there no more and now the shit is going downhill. Two, I'm definitely strongly getting family and friends. Family and friends, but really friends. And then lastly, exes, okay? Because you have some exes that want you back here, but I really get that these are more platonic connections here. These are friends that did you wrong. They felt like they was going to end up in a better situation and didn't. Okay. I feel like these friends could have turned competitive, but I feel like it was just their childhood trauma, and you being such a light, you were triggering that, and you have a pure soul. So it was like you were confused because I feel like people try to accuse you of things you didn't do, or they try to villainize you, but it's like how they're affected by your absence is they're seeing the truth about themselves. And that is very painful for them because a lot of people want everybody else to be the problem, but it's really them. Okay. So I feel like even now, pile number one, you still shine a light on their darkness. Okay. So now that we've looked at what these people, you know, how they're affected by your absence and some of your energy, let's look at who it is. Okay. So number one, it's a Virgo. Okay, it's a Virgo. You could be a Virgo, take what resonates. This could be somebody that is more reserved or more self-critical. This could have been the person that was always talking down on themselves, and you was like, okay, I'm tired of that. You know, people trying to put you in a mother role. Scorpio. Okay, you could be a Scorpio here, but who's affected by your absence is a Scorpio. Who's affected by your absence? Virgo. Who's affected by your absence? Aries. So we already said that. So it's definitely an Aries. Look, Capricorn, we said that. Definitely a Capricorn, or you could be a Capricorn. Next, we got Leo. We have Leo twice. Okay, so it's definitely a Leo, definitely a Capricorn, and an Aries. So that's cardinal energy, Aries and Capricorn. Then we have Cancer. That's also cardinal energy. So you're definitely a leader, okay? But a Cancer is affected by your absence here, okay? Venus, X's, okay? But this could be a Taurus and a Libra, which we had Libra. Okay, so it's definitely a Libra. But I feel like your exes, like, they know that you don't want them back. It's kind of like this bittersweet thing where they might still look you up and search you up and just wonder how you're doing, but they know they could never step to you. And for some of these people, they could take that because they're people who don't go for things they want anyway. It's a little bee outside my window. Oh my goodness. So sweet things are coming your way, pie number one, because I just heard that actually, like, somebody described like the spiritual meaning of a bee, and I didn't know that's what it meant. So you have sweet things coming because you're very sweet, pile number one. You're very, very sweet. Like, you make really like sweets. Like, because when I tap into your energy, it's like donuts and s'mores and really just like sweet little pastries. Okay. You might really be into like, I don't like I said, I don't like to use the word picnic because of the historical context. So I'm going to say spiritual gathering. I feel like you may like to go outside and like eat. Like, that's why I'm getting like Alice in Wonderland, because you know how they were all outside eating at the table. So you may really be into like cottage core. Okay. Take what resonates, or like fairies and mermaids. Okay. You're very magical, pile number one. Take what resonates. The next is we have Mars. Okay, so definitely an ex. Okay, if you're a woman, this could be like your ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, take what resonates, and vice versa. And even if you're non-binary, it's somebody here with a masculine energy and a feminine energy. Okay. The next is soul, sun. So you are a light. You see that? We kept getting Leo, and we literally have a sunflower on this card too. So yes, pile number one, you have a lot of light. Okay. So this is definitely a Leo that is affected by your absence. Okay. Luna. Okay, so this could be a Cancer. So it's definitely a Cancer, okay? And then we have Neptune. So it's definitely a Pisces, a Cancer here, definitely a Leo, definitely an Aries, definitely a Capricorn, all right? So these are the people that are affected by your absence here, okay? So with this Neptune card, I feel like you're somebody who made really good playlists here. You're very like into like alternative, like I said, indie type of music. So for example, people like Sade, people like Cleo Soul, people like Janae Aiko, like you're very into those types of artists. Who else? Kelsey Lou. I'm trying to think of alternative artists. I'm hearing somebody, Merkaba. Her name is like Merkaba. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but she's really good. I can actually look it up to make sure because I don't want to butcher anybody's name. But she has this song. It's like, ain't going down with no shit this time. Cut the bullshit this time. It's a really pretty song, and I feel like that's your energy about number two. Like you're not allowing bullshit anymore. Okay, so I'm trying to find the song, y'all, because I know it. I just you have those moments where you like forget, but you know. Oh, it's called Stay True. There we go. Yeah, her name is Meribah, not Merkaba. Okay, but Merkaba, that is actually like it's something spiritual. So you may should research that or maybe into that. Okay, but yeah, her name is Meribah, and it's called Stay True. Okay, that's what I was hearing. But it's like how you are how are they affected by your absence here? It's like you stay true to yourself. I feel like these are people that really wanted to get under your skin, but it didn't happen. But it was really because of what they were going through. I feel like people just knew, like, because you're always, you're somebody who's like a pioneer. You go after, you set sail, because I'm saying Moana. Like you set sail for what you want. You go after what you want. You don't let people stop you. And it's like people get jealous of that and want to slow you down. And I feel like that's what they try to do. So how are they affected by your absence here? Is they're facing the karma. They're seeing you do better because pound number one, even if you feel like you're not in a position to do better, you are. Have faith and trust that things are going to work out in your favor here. You are a light. We got all these cards here of light. You are a light here, okay? Always remember that, pound number one, no matter who you're in the presence of, even if you're in the presence of a hater, a naysayer, anybody, know that you're a light. Never let anybody take that feeling away from you, even if they don't feel like you're a light. It shows in their behavior because of how they act, okay? So we're gonna get to these last three cards and see like how they're feeling and what they're going through, okay? So this card says, drop the fucking ego. Vulnerability is hot. So they may be trying to act like they have it all together. They may be trying to act like, oh, it doesn't matter if, I'm not associated with pound number one. Like they may be trying to act like, oh well, I'm good. Like they may be acting like they trying to stun on you, but really they're hurt here. So you can have people affected by your absence, maybe trying to still like say things about you like, oh, I'm not hurt over that person, but really they all they want to do is be near you. Pound number one. I feel like they know they were wrong. That's why they have their ego up, because they want to feel like they were right. These are the type of people that will try to justify things they did, and how they're affected by your absence is they can't hide from themselves anymore, because God is holding up a big ass mirror like, look at yourself. And they're having to really see and take in who they are. It says you are going through some tough shit. Everyone has their turn. Gather your tired ass up and handle it. So they are going through it. Like I said, they're going through it mentally because they tried to put you through it. And it's like the thing about people is they don't understand that what you put out into the universe, you're going to get back. even if you succeeded and sabotage somebody, you're going to get sabotaged as well, because you told the universe that I want that. Anything you're doing to another person, you're telling the universe you want that same thing. And a lot of people don't understand that, but they swear they believe in karma. Some people really think they're too good for karma. Like they feel like, no, karma is not going to give me, like I said this in previous videos, but I knew a person that told me that they didn't believe in karma. And I guess that person really, moved like that because of the way they treated me and others. So it's like now they're getting karma. And the same for these people. They're going through some tough shit here. You know what I'm also getting, pal number one? I feel like people tried to make it seem like they were going to be the ones that was going to be successful. They were the ones that was going to be famous. This could even be exes that you had that, they were creative as well. Maybe they were musical and they felt like, no, I'm going to be famous before you, but you are the one who's actually going to be famous before them. And this famous could be internet famous. That's what I'm getting, like social media, like influencer type famous, or your business is just like booming and making money, because you do have Capricorn energy here. So some of you could be bosses and entrepreneurs, all right? Take what resonates, but it's like they thought that they were going to be the ones on top. You know what I'm hearing? The last shall be first and the first shall be last, period. And then it says, get the fuck outside, move your ass, your body is pissed at you. So these people could be in a Nine of Swords energy where they're just staying in bed all day. They're not getting out. They're not taking care of themselves because they're going through it mentally. They're trying to battle and fight, their demons, but it's like, face your shadow. You keep trying to run from it. That's what's making it worse. And I feel like they're battling with that right now. So pal number one, I wouldn't even be worried about their karma because they're already getting it, okay? And you're getting your good karma here, okay? Because you're moving into a period of abundance. You're moving into a period of, being recognized, because there is a lot of light. So the spotlight could be on you, okay? But that was your reading, pal number one. I hope you like it. Mwah, mwah, mwah. We're going to move on to my beautiful pile number two. So pile number two, how are people affected by your absence? So pile number two, you are very protective of those you love. You help provide structure in the lives of others while also helping them get clear on their goals. You help people who acted like they didn't need you afterwards, only to realize that they will need you before you ever need them, okay? You've manifested so much stability in your life, and all they can do is watch. Let me sip this tea real quick on that part. Yeah, pile number two, all they can do is watch. Look, you see how this person is watching intently. That's all they can do. And it could be multiple people like wanting to rekindle with you, pile number two, but they can't. Hold on, y'all. Let me fix my lip gloss really quickly, okay? It just gets really cakey sometimes, and I don't like that. So I try to like keep it fresh. That's why I really prefer chapstick, but I like gloss too. Turn it back on. All right, pal number two. I had to take a lipstick break, lip gloss break. Sorry. Okay. All right, pal number two. But yeah, all they can do is watch you. You may even find people like lurking on your page, and it's people you haven't seen in years. That's why I don't care what nobody say. A lot of people get mad on Facebook, like, people you may know doesn't mean they've been on your page. Yes, it does, because I haven't seen you in years, and how did you get on my page? We don't even have mutual friends. Like, that's how you know somebody's lurking on your page. And even on Instagram, it shows you when it says suggested, lurking on your page, baby. I don't care what nobody say. Now, some of those people are suggested, but some of them are lurking. And I feel like that's what's been going on, like on social media. Pal number two, you may be seeing these people on social media, because I'm getting like lurking on your page. Okay. I'm hearing that song, and Cardi B was like, she lurking on my page before she feed her kids. So it could be a situation like that with kids here. Okay, let's see. This could even be like, if you, let's say, for example, you had a kid with somebody and they had a kid with somebody else. It's like the baby mama of them or the baby father of them is trying to lurk on your page here. That was a specific message, but I feel like pal number two, it's like, you living life. You're not really caring, because you're not about to have drama with your like child's sibling's mother, their step sibling. It's like I feel like pile number 2, you're so like, I'm not dealing with that. Like, and I feel like maybe you tried to even be cool with this person and they did you wrong too. So they could be affected by your absence because it's like maybe they try to connect with their children, siblings, mother, and they reject them, you know, but you didn't. I feel like you the type that, because I'm getting like Summer Walker vibes from you, pal number 2. Not a personality, but I'm just saying, like, I remember watching this interview with her and she was talking about how she tried to connect with the other baby mamas and some of them didn't want to. I believe she said something like that. Yeah, I don't know. But it was something like that. It's like you actually the type of person, pal number 2, to put your pride aside and be like, well, these are our kids, they're siblings, like what we have against each other. It's like you don't even have nothing against them, but you're just like, whatever you have against me, like I don't know you like that. I just want to have our kids to have a connection. So you're very mature, pile number 2. And they're affected by your absence here. This person in particular is because like you know, you are very cool, very chill. And I feel like you probably tried to go out for drinks with this person. Like, I'm really getting this scenario. So if this doesn't apply to you, just let it fly, okay? Take what resonates and leave what doesn't, all right? But I'm really getting like something with baby moms and baby daddies. Even if you're non-binary, it could be like something with caregivers, okay? But yeah, they're affected by your absence because maybe you don't bring your kid around them anymore. So maybe they're like, oh, my kid is missing your kid, or it could also be just you actually provided like real manhood. If this is like, let's say if you're a man and you were connecting with your child's sibling's father, okay, because this could even be my guys here, like you was trying to be cool with their dad and they're acting weird, and it's like you actually established real brotherhood and sisterhood with them, and they realized that they fucked up, you know, by trying to be petty. And it's like, honestly, it's a time and a place for that. And when somebody's trying to be vulnerable with you and connect with you and be mature, all that petty shit just shows how much you don't value yourself. It shows how much you want to hurt other people, because hurt people, okay? So that was very strong, okay? That's for somebody, but let's get into these cards and see how they're affected by your absence. So the first card we had is the Ace of Wands. Pile number 2, I feel like you have the power. Like pile number 1 has the power to bring people to different timelines. Pile number 2, you have the power to bring things into existence for other people. You can wait. It's like waving a magic wand, because the Ace of Wands always reminds me of this magic wand. Okay, I feel like you speak things into existence for people. Okay, or you could be helping people bring things into existence. Maybe you are somebody that will recommend somebody to somebody else. Like, oh, they're looking for a nail tech. You're like, oh, I know this person, and then the business blow up. Like, you're the type of person that brings abundance to other people. You help people level up. Okay, pound number 2, you're the level up coach. You bring like magical gifts to other people that elevates their life, and that's how they're affected by your absence, because you're very supportive. Power number 2, I feel like you support people, even if it's like they trying to make an ice cream business. You like, I can go to Brahms and get the ice cream, like I can get the cones, what else do you need? Like, you're very supportive about other people's goals and dreams here. And even in this picture, you see that him holding on to her, it's like people felt like really like protected by you, or they just felt like they had somebody that cared about them and actually gave a damn, you know. And now that you're not around, they don't feel like people care about them. So that's how people are affected by your absence. Pound number 2, they don't feel like other people care about them, okay, because you really cared. The next card that we have is the moon. So yeah, like you cared about their emotions, you cared about their feelings. I feel like people could vent to you. Like pound number 2, you may be that type of person, like you actually may use THC here or CBD, and maybe you were using it with this person and like letting them open up to you, you know, or going out for drinks. I feel like you make people feel comfortable to open up to you. You make them feel relaxed, okay? I feel like pound number 2, people feel like you're not judgmental when it comes to what they're going through. And I feel like you're very open-minded, so you understand. And I feel like you even learn from other people. Like you're very open to learning things you didn't know. So for example, let's say that you're somebody who's heterosexual and you meet somebody who's a part of the 2S LGBTQI plus community. You know, you may actually be heterosexual, but it's like you want to know, like, okay, what's the community like? How can I be a better advocate? How can I support? How can I stay aware? How can I know, what's the right pronouns, or what does this mean? It's like you, somebody who actually understands, like, you want to understand and you're not judgmental here, okay? So take what resonates. Like, you don't judge people for their sexuality or their beliefs. Like, you're very open to a lot of people. You have a very Aquarius like energy, pile number 2. You may be an Aquarius. The next card that we have here is the Magician. So like I said, you're able to manifest things into other people's lives, but also your own. With that Magician card, it's like you bring things into existence. Like, your voice is all the magic you need, your thoughts and your emotions and your passion is all the intention you need to manifest things. I feel like you're a very passionate person, pile number 2. You have a lot of passion within you. You may have a lot of fire in your chart as well, but it's like you're a go-getter, and you want other people to feel the same way you feel. I feel like pile number 2, you don't leave people behind. Like, when you level up, you want to take people with you, but it's a message here, pile number 2. Like, sometimes you can't take everybody with you. And I feel like that's what you try to do with these people. And they could have tried to sabotage you here. They could have tried to talk you out of something that was very much a blessing for you. Okay. I feel like some people tried to confuse you, pile number 2, or they tried to just make you feel like you weren't worthy of what you were asking the divine for, but you are worthy of it and so much more. Okay. But I feel like you've done a lot of spiritual work for other people, and that's the most beautiful thing you can do for people. It is. Instead of, because you know how people gossip, and gossip is a form of black magic, you know that? And it's like they bring other people down with the gossip, but it's like you bring other people up with your uplifting words, with letting them open up to you. Like, you help people purify themselves, you help people see their wounds, and some people don't want to see their wounds. So that's why certain people can have certain reactions, because they're not ready to grow. They're not ready to get out of that cycle. Because I feel like pile number 2, you could have also been dealing with people who want to have pity parties. They don't want to change, they don't want to grow, they just want to keep getting the support. So what I'm getting here, pile number 2, is you could have been dealing with a friend that was in a toxic relationship, and they always calling you at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, can I come over, can you come over? And then they back together, and then it's like you're trying to tell the person, like, hey, you need to leave them, and you get serious, and they're like, you hating, you just mad because you don't have it. But it's like, why would I be mad about something that's toxic and not fulfilling? Like, that's what I'm getting. Like, you dealt with people who just chose toxicity over peace. Okay. So they're affected by your absence because they have no peace. And you were the type of person that helped them get clear on their goals. Like, you helped them, and you supported them, and they don't have that support. So if they're trying to do something, no one is supporting them. Okay. How are they affected by your absence? They don't have people to support them. They don't have people to vent their frustrations to, they don't actually have people who give a fuck about their feelings around them, because it's what they put out to the universe. So the universe is like, you want that? Okay. And you don't care about people's feelings, so let me put you around people who don't care about your feelings. The universe is savage. Okay, the next card we have is the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so whatever you're doing, pile number 2, you're very skilled in it. Okay, they're affected by your absence is because it's like they can't benefit from your skills anymore. Okay, they can't benefit from you helping them. And for some of you, you could actually be into candle magic here. You could have actually been doing like money manifestations for people, and girl, that's why I say you done a lot of spiritual work for people here, and you don't do that no more. You don't do it for those people. And I feel like you could have even been doing this for free. You could have been giving your spiritual services for free. Take what resonates, okay? Because somebody here does that. Okay. You've done some candle magic for people, and you've helped them manifest abundance, right? And you're not around anymore. So they can't get that. They can't get that clarity that they need anymore. Okay. You could even be a tarot reader here. You could even have a YouTube channel, but if you don't, it's like, people miss that guidance, especially like if you used to do personal readings for people, they miss that and they can't get that anymore. Okay. Some of these people just wronged you so much that they're scared to ask you for your spiritual services, because you may promote your spiritual services online. That's why I was getting like people online here watching. Okay, so you do have a YouTube channel, or you can have a Patreon, or whatever app you post videos on here. Like, yes. The next card we have is the 2 of Swords in reverse. Hierophant in reverse. the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. These are major arcana, so it's like their life is going downhill. With the Two of Swords, it's like they don't know what decisions to make. How are they affected by your absence? Pile number two, there is no clarity in their life whatsoever. There is no clarity. They don't have clarity, so they're making decisions off of their emotions. They're making decisions off of bad advice here. So how are they affected by your absence? They get bad advice. They get people who tell them to do the wrong things, and then they have to accept the consequences of that. So for example, they could have had somebody tell them to quit a job, and they would have been, how do I put this? Okay. So let's say that somebody told them to quit a job because they were frustrated. And what if the boss was actually going to give that person the promotion the next day, but then they quit and then they gave the promotion to somebody else. And it's like they have to accept the consequences of that. I feel like they're around people who, are sabotaging them. I was getting that in pile number one as well, but it's in this pile too. It's like people were trying to sabotage you, but they only ended up sabotaging themselves at the end of the day. With the Wheel of Fortune, their life is just going downhill. With the Wheel of Fortune, things are blocked here. Finances are blocked. Health is blocked. Some of these people could even be having health problems, okay? With the Hierophant in reverse, it's like no spiritual guidance. Also, it's like they're not taking care of themselves and establishing routines for themselves. They don't even take care of themselves spiritually because they're always looking for other people. Like, this is the energy I'm getting, pile number two. It's like, those people who've been traumatized and how they feel is valid, but they kind of act as if the world owes them something. I've met a person like this and they got mad because they had to pay me for doing their hair. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it for free. And that person actually spent money around me and I never said nothing. Like, anybody would have wanted their money, but it's like that person felt like because I've been through a lot, I deserve everything. I don't have to reciprocate because I've been hurt. And that's the same energy I'm getting with you, pile number two. You've dealt with people like that. They feel entitled to you. People you could have done things for, they could have had to pay you back. They didn't want to because they felt like, well, I don't have to because I've been through this. Like, yes, we all have a story. We all have a sad story, but that doesn't mean that you get to treat people any kind of way. It doesn't mean that you get freebies all the time just because you've been traumatized. Like, everybody has gone through something, but the world doesn't owe you anything. And I feel like you were dealing with people who felt like the world owes them something. These are people that want to be loved so bad, but don't want to love on other people, don't want to reciprocate. You want all the love because these people didn't get attention in their childhood, just like pile number one. I'm sorry, it just gets me a little heated because these people will try to villainize you after the fact because that person that, I did their hair and I did it really nice, a natural hairstyle because I know how to do hair. Even if I'm not a professional, I still have been doing hair for years. I've been doing my hair since I was in 8th grade, and it's like, I know a lot about hair. I've done research on hair. I actually got an award for talking about natural hair discrimination. So like, I know what I'm talking about and I know what I'm doing when it comes to hair. But it was like, after that person had to pay me, they got mad and deleted me off everything. And I feel like you've dealt with people like this, pile number two, who all you're asking for is reciprocity, and that's a problem. If you're around a person and they get mad because they have to give to you, but they constantly want you to give to them, that's a major red flag, okay? And if you're dealing with people like that, pile number two, like I told pile number one, let them go. Let them go. Whether they villainize you or not, you know the truth, God knows the truth, and it doesn't matter because they're already going downhill. But I really feel like you dealt with people who feel like, I need love, because when it's you, they wasn't there for you. They didn't care about what you were going through. But when it came to them, they feel like you needed to make them a priority. That's why I feel like these people are traumatized. Both of y'all have went through that. Both piles have been through people who are extremely traumatized. And because you're a successful person, people want to leech off you. And I don't feel like you've allowed that to happen anymore, pile number two. I feel like you're clearing out the leeches. And if you haven't, clear them out. Because you know what somebody said? I forgot where I seen this. I think it was on Instagram. Excuse me. But it was like, the person said, if you around somebody and all you do is give them advice, but they don't take your advice, but they take everything else, they're using you. And I feel like pile number two, you could have dealt with people who were using you here. And once you realize that, I feel like you cut them out, okay? And again, some of you may still need to cut these people out because you want to see the good in everybody. You can't. Let me tell you something, pile number two. Yes, We all have light, but we also have darkness. Stop trying to see the good in people and see the truth in people. What do they show you? Pile number two, believe what you see. Maya Angelou said it best. When somebody shows you their true colors, believe them. Because that person who I did their hair, they was around me bragging about how they bought Dre beats, right? I only charged this person $30, and I guess that was a lot of money to them. That was too much. But when it comes to getting some Dre beats, that's like a lot of money. Let's look up how much that costs right now. For real. I want to see. Because I'm trying to see if it's $30. Okay, so the earphones are 99.95. So $99 with tax is going to be over 100. So you tripping over $30, but you don't mind spending 100. So that's the same thing with these people. And it could be something about money here. Part number two, these could be people who actually didn't want to pay you for something, for your services, or it could be people who actually owe you money here, and they're affected by your absence because they know they owe you money. They know they have to pay you back, but some of these people feel like, oh, I don't want to, and that's why they're getting karma. Okay, that's why they have a lack of direction in their life. That's why. And with this Fool card, it's like they still want to come back around, but it's like no, because you're having new beginnings in your life. Pile number two, you're moving on. You're having new beginnings, but I get like it was some type of dispute over money here. There's something about money coming up strongly because it made me want to bring up that story. Some of you actually may be hairstylists, and it could have been that exact thing, like somebody didn't want to pay for you doing their hair because they felt like, well, we're close, or we're friends, so but you still need to pay me for my services regardless. But that's what I'm getting, like a money situation in particular. But if that doesn't resonate with you, let it fly, okay? But yeah, with this Fool card, it's like they want to have new beginnings in their lives, but they don't have any direction, and I feel like they keep having false starts. So how are they affected by your absences? They have a lot of false starts. So you help them get clear on their goals, so it's like their goals are all over the place because they could want to do multiple things, but they don't know how to just narrow it down or create a lane for themselves, and you're really good at that. Pound number two, so it's like them not having that, it's just making them constantly start things. So these could be people who keep getting jobs and quitting them because they don't align with them, or they could be getting in relationship to relationship or friendship to friendship. It's like up and down, losing themselves or losing themselves here. They're up and down with people. Okay, that's what I'm getting, like up and down. Okay, because 1 minute they're this, 1 minute they're going to school to be a doctor. This could be somebody who also, if you're in college watching this could be somebody who changes their major a lot. Like 1 minute I want to be a doctor, 1 minute I want to be a nurse, 1 minute I want to be a business person, 1 minute I want to be a music teacher. It's like they can't get clear on their goals. Pound number two, because it's murky, and that's how they're affected by your absence. Is it's like it's dark, like they don't know where to go, they don't know what to do, and some of these people could just be really like fearful and stuck in fear and just keeping themselves stuck. With this Wheel of Fortune, it's like they've kept themselves stuck, and that's how they're affected by your absence, because they can't move forward, because they don't know, they don't have the tools necessary, they don't have the help, the support necessary. Okay, so that's how they're affected by your absence. So let's get into these cards. How are they affected by pile number two's absence? So with the eighth house being here, this is like it says as a life or death issue. So what I'm getting here with this, because the Fool card represents new beginnings, and then the eighth house is representing death. So it's like you've transformed from these experiences. Like I feel like you're not somebody who's desperate for friendships or relationships. So I feel like you just went inward. Like pile number one, you went inward and you started to focus on yourself, and that's why you're transforming. Because I feel like pile number two, you used to help a lot of people. You used to help so many people, but now you're learning how to help yourself, and they're affected by your absence because you're no longer helping them. You're no longer wasting your time trying to get their life right. You're getting your life right. Okay. The next card we have is South Node. So these are people from your past that are affected by your absence, okay? Even people maybe from past lives, okay? these could be karmic connections, okay? The next card we have is Aquarius. So you're detached. You're very detached from them. I feel like some of these people could even be blocked on social media, but how are they affected by your absence? I feel like you are very unique. Like you're very unconventional, pile number 2. Like I said, Aquarius. And it's like you have these unique philosophies and unique ways of thinking about things, and you really help them through your unique way of thinking. I feel like you were able to channel the right amount of guidance. Like you were able to channel what they needed specifically. Like you're good at that, pal number 2. So like I said, you could be a tarot reader. Like you know how to relay messages to people and give them what they need to hear. And they're affected by your absence because they're around people, like I said, who give them bad advice, who don't give them sound advice. Some of these people are giving them bad advice on purpose, but you know how some people say, that makes sense, because the Fool card. You know how people think older people know the most? Because I seen this quote and it was like, there's a such thing as an old fool. Okay, so that might resonate. I feel like they're taking like advice from people who, it's like they might be from a different generation. So it's like what you went through is not going to apply for me. So it doesn't resonate, okay? It didn't resonate, but they're still like, well, this person gave me the guidance, so I might as well follow it. And it's like, you can't follow everything people tell you. And I feel like, you know what? Power number 2, how they're affected by your absence is these people are disconnected from their intuition. They're not listening to themselves. They're trying to search for, a higher power outside of themselves rather than realizing that it's already within, okay? So these people don't have a connection to spirituality or any higher power. They may say they spiritual, they may say they Christian, but at the end of the day, there's no flow from them and God. There's no flow from them and universe. Okay, like they don't get messages from God because they ignore them. Okay, and they may complain that God don't hear them. I'm like, you're the one that's blocking off the message. Okay. The next card that we have is Saturn. So you are very mature, pile number 2, but this is representing karma. So it's like they're getting karma. They're having to see how life is without you. I feel like people try to make it seem like, and you know what? These is people that you help get back on their feet. This is how people always do. And I'm not going to say people, I'm going to say this is how insecure and traumatized people do. People that haven't worked on themselves, because once you help them, they feel like, well, I don't need you anymore. Oh, I got a job, I got this, bye. And then next thing you know, shit start going downhill and they need you again. So it's like, that's the energy I'm getting. Like, what I'm really getting is this is mostly friends, because we got a lot of Aquarius energy. So these are old friends here, okay? Old friends, because we also have Uranus, which rules Aquarius. Saturn co-rules Aquarius, but Uranus is also Aquarius energy. So again, you're very unique. Okay, I feel like these are people that try to steal your ideas and copy you because you're so unique, and you're very fascinating. But these are people who won't even give you your credit. How they're affected by your absence, they can't take your ideas anymore. Again, some of these people could be blocked, okay? Because the 11th house represents like our social group society. So yeah, they could be blocked, okay? But yeah, these are definitely old friends, and these could be past lovers. Even family, okay? Even family, because the moon is here. The moon is ruled by Cancer. It represents family. So these could be family members too that you help. I really get that too. Friends and family the most. Ex is the least, okay? But I'm really getting friends and family that you've helped specifically, or people that you try to be friends with, okay? The moon card is here again, so it's like you were able to tap into the divine and get messages that people needed to hear. Like the messages that you give people, you brought a lot. Like it's like this, pound number 2. It's like when you immediately start talking. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted because it's coming fast. But it's like when you immediately start talking, it's like the pain just starts melting away from people. Like the suffering, the agony, it's just like you put people in a state of tranquility. And that is why they're affected by your absence, is because they're always stressed out. They're going through anxiety. They're going through depression. Some of these people could even be getting diagnosed with bipolar disorder. But it's just a lot of like friction mentally. They're resisting change. Like some of these people don't want to give up these toxic relationships. Some of these people could even use substances here and they don't want to give that up, you know? it's like a refusal to let go. And you're somebody who just lets go easily, pile number two. And it's something that you've cultivated, because I feel like it wasn't always easy for you to let go, but I feel like you learned that, okay, if this is being taken away from me, it was either a lesson or something better is coming. So you have that optimistic mindset, pile number two. And that's why they're affected by your absence, because they're jealous so that they don't have that. But you having that optimistic mindset, being around them, you put them again in that state of tranquility to help them see that, you know, there's a light at the end of this tunnel. Again, these are people that just want to stay in their trauma. Like, they don't want to take responsibility. These are the type of people that feel like, okay, my mama did this to me, my dad did this to me, so for the rest of my life, I'm going to be unhappy. And I don't get it. And I feel like you're the same way, pile number two. Like, why would you allow somebody to have that much control over your life that you don't go out and be happy, that you don't go out and find the love of your life and live out your dreams and, you know, eat you some good food and watch a good show? You're worried about people who are already hurt. Hurt people. And it's like, I'm sorry that they hurt you, but, you know, the way that they treated you was not your responsibility, but your healing is your responsibility. And I feel like, pile number two, you understand that. And these are people who don't understand that. Okay, these are people who, again, they want a pity party. It's like, I've been traumatized. That's why I feel like these are people that could drink a lot too. You know, if this is family, this is people that could get drunk and talk crazy to you. And I feel like you just like, I'm not dealing with that. These are people you could have cut off. Like I said, certain people either got cut off or blocked, or you're just detaching yourself. And they're affected by that because they feed off of your energy, you know? And I feel like, pile number two, you got to protect your energy because you give. You like to give, okay? So protect your energy here, okay? Because you allow people to reveal a lot of things to you emotionally. You got to sometimes learn how to be like, I'm not, you know, in the mood for that. Like, set some boundaries with what people share, because I feel like people try to dump on you emotionally, pile number two. And that's how they're affected by your absences, because they can't come to you and do that. They can't come to you with the same sob stories, because you're like, no, if you're going to stay in a toxic relationship and get mad at me for telling you the truth, don't come around me. Because there's a lot of people who like to stay in toxic relationships and get offended at you for telling the truth. Like, your partner shouldn't hit you. It doesn't matter how mad they got. Like, with my partner, like, I've been with my partner for about 2 to 3 years now, and it's like we never had those issues. So it's like, a person that love you and respect you is never going to put their hands on you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they're never going to sit here and give you a black eye, punch you in your ribs, bust your nose. Like, that is not love. And then when you tell people that, they get mad. They feel like, oh, well, that person loves me. You know, they just know. And I feel like that's the problem with these people, pile number two. Like, they are resisting change. They're resisting this. There's something better. They're like, no, I got to stay with this person because nobody's going to want me. Insecure. Let me tell you something. Because that brought me back to the channel messages, right? Hold on, y'all. Because I wrote that down. The show Insecure, okay? The show Insecure. Like, you may like that show, pile number two, or people that you know, you may see their characters in the people, right? Because, yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah. So that show in particular, so maybe like it could be that type of dynamic. So take what resonates here, okay? The next card we have is Venus. So these are some exes, okay? Because the love you give, they're affected by your absence, and it says good times. So you're a fun person, pile number two. Like, you help people stop focusing on the negative and have fun. Like, you're somebody that's like, let's go to the fair, or let's go out to eat, you know, or let's go to Six Flags, or let's take a vacation. Like, you're the type of person that really, you know, help people to have a good time. You help people to step out of their comfort zone. And how they're affected by your absence, pile number two, is they don't have people around them that get them out of their comfort zone. They stay where they are. And these are people that may speak as if they want to be something that they haven't healed themselves to be. So I feel like these people could say things like they're very genuine, or they could say things like, this is what I'm picking up. Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but you never do it. and you're not genuine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of them wanting to be something that they aren't. And it's very painful for them to see the truth about who they are. So they try to resist it by creating these fake narratives that this is me. Or if they're in a toxic relationship, they create a fake narrative like, oh, well, all relationships go through problems. But I just really get that. You dealt with somebody dealing with that. And it didn't even have to just be physical. It could be somebody going through verbal abuse and mental abuse from a partner, but staying with them, you know, and then getting mad when you try to give them advice, but they're affected by your absences because they wish they would have listened to your advice here, you know. They're affected by your absences because, you know, they don't get to have good times with you because you really are somebody who has a good time. And you are so generous, pal number two. I feel like you like to spend money on people here. You know, that's really what it is. You know, you don't mind paying for things for people, or even if you didn't like buy things for people, you may just give things away. And people are affected by your absences because they don't meet people that are giving. Nobody is giving to them. No one is giving to them. I feel like people see through their bullshit. Part number two, these are people who really think they're clever and sneaky, and it's like you're not. I feel like you're able to see everything, especially with this moon energy. I feel like you were able to pick up on a lot of deception here with these people because it's like, I just really get traumatized people. And these are people who refuse to go to therapy. They feel like, no, I don't need to do that. I don't need to improve. I'm already good as I am. But their childhood trauma is still functioning in their subconscious mind, which affects their behaviors, how they speak to other people. Like it's still in motion here, and they're not willing to acknowledge that. So they're being affected by your absences because you know, you're the type of person who used to bring things to their attention. So now that you're no longer around, they don't really have people bringing things to their attention. Like they're lost, they're confused. Let's look at the channel messages. Let me read them. It says they lack direction in life. They can't make it happen like you. These could also be people that are lazy, okay? People who want instant gratification. You know how people say like microwave spirituality? These are people that could be wanting to be spiritual and thinking that they know things about spirituality, but really don't. It's like microwave spirituality. They may watch pick a card readings, you know, on YouTube and be like, well, I'm spiritual. And a lot of people think spirituality is just something that it's just so bliss, and it can be. But spirituality is about doing that shadow work, remembering who you've always been, connecting with the higher power, and letting go of what you're not. Letting go of what doesn't serve you. Like there's so many components to spirituality that people get caught up on the psychic gifts. But in order to get those gifts, you have to go through the abyss. Yeah. It don't just come easy. And that's what I'm getting. Like pile number two, I feel like you're somebody who really takes your time. You're giving me a Knight of Pentacles energy. Like you really don't mind if something takes you a couple years because you know that you're going to get to the destination. Also, they want instant gratification, and you're very diligent here. Okay, that came out in one of these cards. You're also very brave. You're very, very brave, and I feel like these people leaned on you. And I get something here that you saved up for years. You work hard. You're very skilled in what you do. You may be into business and jobs to help promote your community. And like I said, that show Insecure with Issa Rae. You may like to work with kids here, so you may like to work in a daycare, or you may just like to do things for kids. You like to do fundraisers here as well. And then there's Erykah Badu's Out My Mind Just in Time. And again, it says you didn't judge people, so that's there. They feel like they can't copy you anymore. Okay, so that's the message. Also, I feel like people have tried to downplay your wisdom. Pile number two. That's what I'm getting. Like these people tried to downplay it, but they knew you were telling them the truth. That's why they're affected by your absence, because they missed that. They missed you telling them the truth, but they took it for granted. People take the truth for granted, but will love a lie, and they will love a liar, but hate somebody who speaks the truth. I don't get this world, okay? I don't get how people function like that, but they do. So yeah, also, yeah, with that song Out My Mind Just in Time, Erykah Badu is saying that she's a recovering over lover. Yeah, she's like, I'm a recovering undercover over lover. Recovering from a love I can't get over. Covering undercover over lover. So that's what I'm getting. Like, you're a recovering people pleaser, pile number two, and they're affected by your absence is because you're not pleasing them anymore. You're not putting other people's happiness before yours anymore. So they're affected by that because sometimes people can get so used to you putting yourself last that they get mad when they're not first. It's like, no, I wasn't just put on this planet for you. I wasn't put on this planet for you to take from me. And I feel like that's what these people do. These are energy vampires too. It's like, instead of working to build their own energy, they rather take from other people. And these are people who could be in arrested development, to be honest with you. Power number two, these people you dealt with could be still stuck at ages 8 and 10 and 5 and 6. Like, they're stuck there. So they're going to act out of those behaviors. Maturity doesn't come with age, unfortunately. Okay. So let's get into why else. How else do they put your absence? So we have diligence. So I get like them comparing themselves to you. They're affected by your absences because you do things really like neat. You're very neat. I feel like you could have been a type of person that came over. You could have been a type of person that came over and like cleaned up their house. Like, you're very neat here with this diligence card. Give me a second, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, y'all. My nose was running. It's just cold in here. Um, but yeah, you're very diligent. I feel like you help them learn patience. I feel like they don't know patience without you. Like, they're very codependent on you. These are people that were very codependent on you. Like, you help them stay patient. You help them stay committed to their goals. But now that you're not around, they behave very erratically because I feel like these are the type of people that need a, like, these are followers. Like, they want somebody to lead them and they'll get mad if you don't want to. And it's like, it's not your problem. Pound number two. Okay, I feel like you're tending to your own garden, really, because I feel like some of you may like to farm here. Pound number two, you may have a garden or you may want to farm. Because you remind me of pile number two, Kelly's on Instagram. She is so beautiful and she has this farm. And I just love her because she makes things like handmade spices, skincare. You may do things like that, pile number two, and you take your time. Like, you know that good things take time to grow. It's a plant is not gonna be grown overnight. You know that, okay? So you have a lot of patience, and they're affected by that because they thought you were going to have a lot of patience for them, but I feel like your patience ran out. The next card we have is miracles. So I feel like you brought a lot of miracles into these people's lives. So you could have helped them with a job interview, like I said, buying them some clothes or just taking care of them. Okay. For some of you, you could have been even like, I'm getting hair again. You could have been doing somebody's hair because, yeah, you could have been doing some hair because there's hair on these people. Like, when I look, yeah, like certain things stand out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could have been doing hair. Pile number two. That's what I'm getting. Could be a stylist here. You could be into cosmetology or makeup and beauty with that Venus energy. Okay, so you brought a lot of miracles into people's lives. Like, you could have, I feel like you've just done things for people like behind the scenes, but in a good way. Like, made that phone call. Like, I think this person will be the great person. Like, you seem like an event planner. Pile number two, like, you help people plan events, or you seem like you bring good fortune to people, like financial. You may even have gifted people money. That's what I'm getting here, okay? But you bring miracles to people that help them understand that, life can be what you make it. You show people a different side of life, and that's how they're affected by your absence because they don't feel like miracles happen anymore because you're not in their life. You were that force making those miracles happen, but they don't really feel like that anymore. Okay, because again, these are people that seek guidance outside of themselves. Okay. The next card we have is delight. So your energy is just very peaceful and chill. And like I said, you weren't judgmental. So they feel like they could just come to you and cry to you and open up to you without worrying about how they look when they cry, how they sound. Like you were very, non-judgmental when it came to other people's feelings here. And that is how they're affected by your absence. Again, a lot of people just miss you being there for them, listening to them. That's how they're affected. With going forward, they're affected because they know that you're not coming back. You're on this new path by yourself. Because pile number 2, you need to learn how to take care of you. I feel like you do a good job of it, but pile number 2, and I think that's interesting because you are the second pile, and 2 represents like that balance and harmony and, connecting with others, right? But it's like pile number 2, like I feel like you've done enough for people. You've done enough. Like I feel like in this next season of your life, with the full card, with that new beginning, start putting yourself first, pile number 2, because I feel like a lot of people really took your kindness for granted here and tried to make you feel bad when you wanted to do something for you. Or I feel like maybe when you tried to vent to these same people, they didn't want to hear it. Okay. So you're going forward. Okay. And better things are on the horizon for you. And they're affected by your absence because they cannot go with you. Okay. Like I said, you can't take people with you when the blessing is just for you. The next card we have is trust. So they don't feel like they can trust people, how they're affected by your absence. Like you have that intuition. Okay. Some of you are psychics here. Okay. Because we got a lot of moon energy, a lot of moon energy. You're very nurturing as well, mothering. So they're affected by your absence because some of these people may be motherless or have a strained relationship with their mother, or their mother may be, deceased. So it was like you were that mother figure for them. And they're affected by your absence because they don't feel nurtured. They don't feel taken care of anymore. Okay. Yeah. The trust card, they don't trust other people. They don't trust themselves. That's how they're affected by your absence. They don't trust themselves. Okay. With the enlightenment card, how they're affected by your absence is they think God is not hearing them, but I feel like God is constantly sending these people messages and synchronicities. But I feel like if they don't agree with that, they're not going to take it in. I feel like even if they're getting called out for something, so it could be as simple as they go on YouTube and they see a video of you need to let go of that person, they'll be like, no. Or it could be like, they see a video of like, here's how you can manifest your dream life. They'll ignore it. And then we'll say, God, I want to manifest my dream life. The video is right there. So I feel like these are people that kind of miss the signs. And that's how they're affected by your absence. Because I feel like pile number 2, you're somebody who's very in sync with the universe. So when you see a bird or a butterfly, you already know the spiritual meaning. You probably study the spiritual meanings of like animals and insects to get a better understanding when they cross your path. And I feel like you were able to provide that wisdom and insight. You could even be good at dream interpretation here in pile number 2. So people are affected by your absence because they may have weird dreams and they knew you were the best at interpreting them. Like you were really good at breaking things down for people. That's why you could be a tarot reader here. Okay. Forgiveness. So they want your forgiveness. Like I said, like pile number 1, they want to spin the block. They want to come back. You see that moon again? Very feminine energy. It's like they reaching for you, pile number 2, but you're blocked. It's like you're so far out of their reach. It may look like they can reach you, but they can't. You see how this is an illusion? Like this person may look like, oh, if only they were a little bit taller or if they stood on a chair. No, you can't reach it. You're unreachable. How are they affected by your absence? Pile number 2, you unreachable. You could have deleted their number, blocked their numbers, or changed your phone number here. You could have made a different account, deleted your old one. Like, I feel like you really got rid of these people. Okay, for some of you, I feel like you really got rid of them. And again, like I always say, if these are people that you have ignorance about and people you want to get rid of, do it. Stop feeling guilty for doing what's best for you. Stop feeling guilty for wanting people in your life who reciprocate. Pile number 2, you're never out of pocket for wanting what you give to other people. Like, don't make yourself feel bad for wanting love. And I understand everybody loves in different ways, but you still know the difference between like someone reciprocating, right? You still know the difference. So when somebody is not giving you that, it's going to be obvious, because I feel like you were just constantly filling up other people's cup and they were just taking it. Because again, these people are stuck in childhood trauma. They want to be nurtured. So they feel like, well, I'm the one. Like I said, these are people who feel like should be owed something. They feel like, no, I'm the one that got hurt. But they don't realize that you've been hurt too, pound number two. You probably went through something way worse than them, but you're not going around crying about it. You're not letting what happened to you break you. You're very strong here, pound number two. You don't let bad situations stop you from having a good life. Life is too short to allow people who hurt you, because they were hurt people. Life is too short to allow people to make you not want to live anymore. And I feel like that's what these people do. All they want to do is be in a low vibration. And I feel like you're rising above that. You see what I'm saying? They can't reach you because you're on this high vibration. You're in your feminine energy. So some of you could have children here, like I was saying, okay? Some of you could be mothers, fathers, and if you don't resonate with those terms because they're gendered, you could be a caregiver here if you're non-binary. Take what resonates, okay? But now that we've seen, I know that was long. Now that we see how they're affected by your absence, let's see who it is. We have Uranus. Again, it's an Aquarius, okay? An Aquarius with Mercury. It's either a Gemini or a Virgo, because Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. We have Pluto, so it could be a Scorpio, or you could be a Scorpio. You could be any of these signs, okay? Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We have Saturn again, so they getting karma double, okay? And you are Pout too, so that's interesting too. You may see 222 a lot, okay? Or you may be born on February 22nd, okay? We have Jupiter, okay, Sagittarius energy. We have Aquarius. We have Aquarius twice, and we have Uranus twice. So this is definitely an Aquarius pattern number 2, or you are an Aquarius, or you just have a lot of that in your chart. Take what resonates. Next, we have Libra, so definitely could be an X here, X fling. These are old friends, pound number 2 for you, because you have a lot of Aquarius energy. That's linked to the 11th house. So these are friends that did this to you. I really get that. I don't really feel like it's family, but I feel like it's more of like friendships, because I feel like maybe your family is not as close. So pound number 2, you may have like really clung to your friendships because that's all the love you knew. Oh, we have Libra and Taurus and Venus. So yeah, this is some exes. Okay. Next, we have Gemini. Okay, it could be a Gemini who did this to you, or you could be a Gemini. The next is we have is Sagittarius. So we got Sagittarius energy twice, okay? Definitely a Sag, definitely an Aquarius, definitely an X here, okay? Definitely a Gemini. And then we have Pisces. Okay, so take what resonates. So yeah, you gave them spiritual guidance. I feel like you spoke a lot of life into people with this Mercury and Gemini energy. You spoke a lot of life into people. And look at this. As I was saying, you like things that are reciprocal. You see how the scales are balanced. It's like you like things to be reciprocal, and you're deserving of that. Pound number 2. Never let people make you feel like, oh, I'm asking for too much because I want to be treated the same way. No, you're not asking for too much. It's okay to want people to love on you like you love on them. They may not love on you the exact same way, but you know the difference between somebody who loves you and somebody who doesn't, okay? But yeah, I feel like power number 2, you would really thrive with some self-care. So like taking care of yourself, like grooming yourself here. But yeah, how they're affected by your absences, they feel more restricted, because with the Sagittarius energy, I feel like you help people be more free. You help people be more optimistic. You gave people more, you help people expand, because Jupiter is about growing and expanding. How they're affected by your absence is they're stuck, they're not growing, they're stagnant, okay? And they're seeing you thrive here. They're seeing you thrive, okay? So some of you could be on social media and there's people who love you, and they're like, wow, they're mad, because these are people who could have felt like they probably knew your situation, because pattern number 2, you could come from a family that neglects you, okay, but somehow you're still succeeding because you're chosen by God, okay? Yeah, I understand that because I have a family like that too that kind of just don't really care to check on me, but will rather look on my social media than call me. You got my number. But it's the same thing with you. It's like they probably knew your situation, so they feel like, oh well, I'm their friend and I know they need me, so I can do whatever I want. Like, no. Some people will play on that. And I feel like you could have been vulnerable with certain people, pile number two, and you just realize like, nah, you're doing too much. And I'm proud of you for keeping your cool, pal number two, because I really feel like you just started to detach. That's why I feel like you are an Aquarius or you have Aquarius energy. Because I feel like you just were able to be like, bye. Like with no with like no arguments. Pal number two, you are definitely my unbothered pal. It's always my pal number two. So if you are from my other readings, it's like y'all are always the most unbothered. But yeah. hmm Yeah. So the next three cards we have are how they're feeling, right? How they're feeling. Okay. And this card just dropped. Okay. And some of these people just feel like they're falling down. Some of these people may feel like they fell off. Okay. Some of these people may feel like that maybe they used to be popular and they're not. Take what resonates. We have rebel because F it. So these people are just rebellious in their own life. They're messing up their own life. It's kind of like these are people who know their rent is due tomorrow and they got the money, but they go spend it on getting drunk at the club and or they spend it on food or they spend it on clothes or they spend it on somebody else and then they don't have any money to pay their rent. That's what I'm getting, like people who are rebellious with money, people who are rebellious when it comes to taking care of themselves. Like they act like a child. They feel like, no, somebody else is supposed to take care of me. I don't think these people have realized that no, you're supposed to take care of you. These are adults, these are not children. But because they're stuck in arrested development, they operate with the intellect of a child. Okay, so if you ever wonder like why do they act like that, that's what it is. Okay, and it's really sad, it's very sad, but you have to understand that it's not about you. These people doing this and trying to hurt people, not your fault. And if you hear something in the background, please disregard that. In my new space, I have 3 roommates, so you may hear it stuff in the background. Oh, this one says, get the F out of your head, get in your heart. So they've been overthinking. They've been overthinking about so much. Like you know, you helped them get clear on what it was. Like they don't have that anymore, okay? They don't have people around them to provide them with sound advice, so they get confused and then they don't listen to their intuition, so they overthink things, you know? These are people that this could definitely be a Gemini or Virgo. The last card we have is it says, stop effing whining. It says, no one wants to listen to that. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change your world, so do it. Like, yeah, they don't realize that they are the creators of their reality, not their parents, not people who betrayed them, but them. I feel like they don't realize that the power that they're seeking is within the guidance and what they're wanting is all within themselves. I don't think they understand that, and how they're affected by your absences. They may still complain, you know, they may still complain about, well, I don't have this. Didn't I tell you that these are the type of people who feel like, well, my parents did this to me, my grandparents did this, my aunties and uncles, they did this, so for the rest of my life I'm going to be miserable. For the rest of my life I'm going to turn to substances and alcohol. And it's like, I know the situations can be, you know, really bad, so I'm not trying to pass judgment on anybody who does that. Okay, I don't want you to take that away from this reading, but what I'm getting is people who just feel like because I wasn't treated the way I wanted to be treated, it's fuck my life. I don't want anything out of life because of how I was treated. And it's like people are gonna mistreat you, but you have to understand that it's about them. It's not about you. And I feel like pound number two, that's something you also should take into consideration. It's not about you all the time. You know, I feel like you may blame yourself for why people did you wrong, but it wasn't you, pound number two, it was them, their childhood trauma. I don't care what somebody tell you. I don't care how they present themselves on social media. People have trauma and it's going to show and it's going to spill out if they don't do something to get help, okay? But that's how they're affected by your absence here. You know, they complain, they don't have clarity, you know, they don't have people around that truly care. Okay. So that's how they're affected by your absence, pile number two. I know this was a bit of a long reading, but I know y'all missed my long readings, but Thank you so much. Thank you, pile number 2. Thank you for coming to this channel and supporting me and being a consistent flower baby. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Peace.